it's your print mother. And today I want to talk about why you would choose heat transfer vinyl, especially since there's other options out there like the obvious screen printing and sublimation, direct to garment, heat transfer vinyl. You're probably like, there's so many options. There's so many avenues I can go, right? And it's probably um, confusing, and so I'm here to help you figure out why you would want to choose heat transfer vinyl and what it's good for. Now, a common issue that I discover with heat transfer vinyl is peeling and cracking. But if you look at examples of screen printing and sublimation, every every method isn't perfect, and every method is going to have its pros and its cons. Um, Usually, heat transfer vinyls stay longer based off of the care of the shirt after you buy it and after you apply the heat transfer. A lot of heat transfer or HTV applied garments should be washed on cold on a gentle cycle and flipped inside out. And then typically shirts with heat transfer vinyl applied to it should be hung up to dry and not put into a dryer, because the dryer is what weakens the heat transfer adhesive. Um, some pros to heat transfer vinyl is that if you're not really making large quantities of an order or of a garment, it's quick. It's easier than screen printing and sublimation for sure. It's quicker, and it's more time. It's less time consuming. Another reason you would want to use heat transfer vinyl is that it's cost effective. With screen printing, you gotta have the different uh, press heads. You gotta have like the 2 machine or the 4 head or the 6 or the 8, and then you gotta have a whole bunch of inks, and then you gotta have like the solvents and like the extras that go into the inks that make them more um, that extend the use of the ink. It's a whole process, and then you have to think about registration marks to align up the design and the ink on each individual shirt. And just the setup for screen printing alone is time consuming. And 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 if you are a small business who either is time consuming and it's a bit more expensive than uh, heat transfer vinyl, because if you're a small business or if you're just an artist enthusiast, you're just a creative who likes to make little things here and there, it really wouldn't be beneficial to you to do screen printing, whether it be you going to pay somebody to screen print your shirts for you, or you going out and buying the equipment and everything like that. um, it'll be easier to just go buy some vinyl, uh, use your vinyl cutting machine like the Cricut or whatever machine. There's tons of machines out there, right? And then you can put the design through the Cricut software and then cut it out, and then bada bing, bada boom, you got shirts made in under an hour, maybe even quicker if you're used to the process, right? Another reason why you should choose heat transfer vinyl is that it's just the reason I only offer heat transfer vinyls and only offer one color heat transfer vinyl, because I'm here for the people who just need to get the job done. You know, like you might have a deadline for a project, you might have to go to an event, or you're booked for a festival or an event, and you need some staff t-shirts or an employee t-shirt, and you need something really quick with like your logo or your brand name on the front. And maybe you kind of dropped the ball on it, right? And so and you forgot, but like you really want to make your brand look more professional by having event t-shirts or staff t-shirts. And so it'll be real easy to order heat transfers from my website, and then have them me ship it to you, and then you can just apply it. You can apply the day of, the day before. You know what I'm saying? Like like um and then nobody knows the difference. Like, I'm gonna be honest, a lot of people don't really know the difference between heat transfer vinyl and screen printing, and the only time people really even recognize the difference is when um after like wear and tear of the shirt after washing it a couple times. Heat transfers might peel and crack, but if you actually look it up, heat transfer vinyl and screen printing last about 40 to 50 washes. And that's if you wash it appropriately. And so there's really not too much of a difference. It's just when screen printing starts to crack, it doesn't look as bad as, I would say, heat transfer vinyl. But like if you're just trying to get something done, and you just need to you just need a means to an end, a heat transfer vinyl or heat transfers will be your best bet. Some pros and cons to heat transfer vinyl, right? Cons. Large quantity runs are expensive and time consuming. So even though for small runs, and that's why I also only offer to do about 15 to 20 heat transfer vinyls, just because I it is time consuming, having to let it cut and having to apply it, and especially if it's front and back, it could be a lot. You know what I'm saying? So uh, running large quantities only using heat transfer vinyls can be really time consuming, just like setting up and getting ready to screen print can be time consuming. Um, Prints fade after several washes and don't last long. That's another con. But like I really like to displace they don't last long. It's just a matter of how you care for the shirt, like I talked about earlier. You have to wash it appropriately and just make sure you're taking care of it after. Because a lot of people just throw stuff into the washer and dryer, don't separate it, don't look at the wash instructions on it, and then wonder why their shirt's a mess. Um, this is a con, and I'm reading a list off the internet. This is a con that some people make, and it says that prints are stiff, making fabric firm. I cannot stress enough that there are different qualities of heat transfer vinyl. And the cheap stuff, the stuff that I know a lot of people have probably had issues with, and it's that cheap stuff that you get from the dollar store or you get from Amazon for $5, or and it's usually that material that you have to print on first and then cut it and apply it. That's no, 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 no. At PrintMuva, your PrintMuva uses high quality polyurethane, 100% polyurethane heat transfer vinyl. The vinyl that I use, when you apply it to a T-shirt, it feels just like a screen print. I go through a company called Stalls. They are a high premium vinyl company, and their stuff lasts a long time if you take care of it. And it doesn't. It's not stiff. It doesn't make, like, the shirt I have on here is heat transfer vinyl, and like look at that. I can, like, nothing. Like, it's nothing. Like, it's heat. So like that stiff portion, it just depends on the quality and where you're buying it from. Um, Re-ironing, this is a con. If you have a heat transfer vinyl applied to a shirt, you wash it, maybe it's a little wrinkly. I would iron it from the inside out, because ironing it again can cause it to melt sometimes, depending on the quality. It can cause it to melt. It can cause the heat transfer to just stick and like bunch up on the shirt, and it's really not that great. But some pros now to the heat transfer vinyls. Like I said earlier, small quantity runs allow customers to get their items faster. So, I really want to make and help small businesses run more efficiently. And that's why, um, like again, I'm here for the people who are go getters, the people who are narrow minded, the people who have a goal in mind and want to get it done, and get it done to the best of their ability so they can move on to the next step. And, I want to be able to um, make that a possibility for you. Because if you guys order heat transfers from me, and then, or from anybody, it doesn't just gotta be me, just in general. And like I said, you're booked for an event, you're booked for a festival, and you want to take your brand image and your brand awareness up a level. A T-shirt with your a T-shirt that you can make yourself, that you can apply at home yourself, that you can do in a few seconds. See, another good thing about heat transfer vinyl is, back to time, is it only takes about 5 to 15 seconds to apply to a T-shirt. And so, like I said, like it ain't nothing. Okay, another pro is that it allows for a variety of colors and placements on the garment. Yes. See, the tricky thing with screen printing is putting the garment on the platen or on the plate for it to hit, if you want it to be on the left chest or right chest, if you want to do it on the sleeve, maybe even on like the side of a hood, or even like the middle part. Yeah, like those types of prints are harder for screen printing than it would be for heat transfer vinyl, as well as multicolor, because there really won't really be a need for registration marks, which can also create like screen printing is such a multi-layered process that it's just a lot. And but we can get into that later. And so yeah, so it's just easier to put, and then you have more versatility as to where you put the image on your shirt. Because say maybe you were putting it like on your left chest, and then at some point in time, you wanted it a little, not like a little off of the left chest. I don't know why, but that's where you wanted it. And so and you can do that. You can just make the change, and you don't really have to change your whole production to make that placement change, whereas you would have to with screen printing. And also, and to tie that into, if you go through like a company or a screen printer who would do it yourself, like say you wanted to change your mind about the placement of where the image was, well, then now you're probably waiting even longer for your order, because the screen printers are going to have to reorder a shipment of shirts for the shirts that they already ran. And then on top of that, they're going to have to reprint all of those shirts all over again. And so that's going to push their production time back, which could put you behind as well. So why not just do it yourself, get it out the way, and that way you don't gotta rely on other people's timelines and deadlines and stuff like that. And then the last pro for a heat transfer vinyl, I guess really more so is for me, but like this is also, I'm also giving you guys advice for when, if you want to start your own print business, or if you want to incorporate printmaking into your business model, so that way you can, for brand awareness and stuff like that. Heat transfer vinyl software allows for graphics to be altered with unlimited options. So we can erase, we can select certain things, we can clone, duplicate, we can rotate, we can resize it, and so like if like say you place an order with me, I you upload the image you want, I could take your image and edit it to the way that either you would like it if you needed the image to be redone, or I could also re-edit it. So just because sometimes not all images are able to be translated into like printmaking, and so you kind of have to transform the image a teeny tiny bit just to be able to get it to be printable, because just because you have an image doesn't mean it's printable. But that's a whole nother conversation, a whole nother topic of discussion to talk about. Um but yeah, so I so I guess to sum it all up, heat transfer vinyl or HTV, it has its place, and its place is with PrintMuva, okay? No. But yeah, heat transfer vinyl has its place. It has, if you're looking for small quantities, if you're a small business and you kind of want to start your own t-shirt business and you want to get it started right away. What are you doing? I'm shooting a video. You're distracting me. You're making me forget. Love you. If you're trying to start your own t-shirt business or your own clothing or print business, heat transfer vinyl will be your best option for starting quickly, especially if you're excited and you want to get it off the ground. You can start with heat transfers and a heat press. You might not even need a heat press. You can use an iron, or like you can get you a Cricut and do stuff like this. And you can just start off doing small things, and then moving your way up as your business grows, and then incorporating other methods like screen printing and sublimation and um, direct to garment and stuff like that. So, yeah, I hope this helped educate y'all a little bit on HTV, heat transfer vinyls, and why you would or should use them. Um, I hope this makes sense. I'm still figuring out how to make these videos and stuff, and I kind of just be winging it. Okay. And so, yeah. So I hope you check out the heat transfer vinyl form. I'll link that somewhere and check it out. And I can't wait to work with you guys, and I can't wait to help y'all give birth to your businesses or to your creative expressions, and just be the nurturing mother that we all need. But just your print mother. I'm not gonna call you and check up on you. I'm not gonna cook you a meal or nothing, but I will help your business flourish. So with that, your girl's out. Until next time.